Hey, CrossFit Winslow. I just wanted to dive into something that yesterday I was coaching a kids class, which some of you know I teach AMP, which is a kids class Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And my son was struggling on the gorilla row movement, right? And he has notoriously a really weak upper body. And I watched him going through it, and really he did not quit, which I'm very proud of, but he definitely was down on himself after class. And so I brought it up to him. I said, hey, were you a little, at dinner actually, I talked to him. I said, so I noticed you were, a little frustrated in class today. I said, are you doing okay? And he's like, yeah, Daddy. And he literally points to his arm and he's like, this just is one of my weakest movements. But I chose that as a moment to say, what I believe makes what we do at CrossFit so much different, or maybe so much more impactful than doing other kinds of workouts, is that we're going to chase those movement patterns that are difficult for us, because in improving them, not only does it improve our brain especially if it's a complex movement pattern like a snatch or a clean and jerk, but it also eliminates or focuses on our weaknesses. And that's not mine. It comes from Greg Glassman's original teaching, where he's like, if we're going to focus on anything when we're doing this constantly varied functional training performed at high intensity, we're going to focus on the things we're not good at, because when we make the things we're not good at good, and then it just sharpens up our holes, right? And I think I wanted to take that and kind of translate it how you might be able to apply it daily to every class you come to. And I started flirting around with this idea the last 6-8 months. I've talked to a couple of you about it, and so I kind of wanted to put it out there in mass. And the idea is, when I program the week workouts, I'm constantly looking at how the box is moving as a whole. I'm reviewing people's workouts and seeing how we do, and kind of trying to, over time, fill in the weaknesses. Like if I happen to notice that everybody looks like, crap going overhead a couple workouts in a row, I might start programming a few more wall walks or some handstand holds or some pure straight movement for a few weeks to bias that pattern and see if I can get it to improve. It is much of an art at this level as it is a science, trying to design a comprehensive 6 days of workouts to move 70 to 80 people forward in their fitness journey if they come consistently. But I also want to put a little responsibility on you guys, not to take anything off of me or my coaches, but it's okay for you to come in and look at the workout of the day and be selfish about using it to make your body move the best. Now, you can seek advice from me or any of the coaches. We're all pretty good at scaling things down to you to make sure they're effective. But what I don't want to do, and what I've been hearing far too much of maybe over the last 13 years, is the idea that, I saw this workout and I couldn't do anything in it, so I decided to take the day off. No, come in. Let us take you through a workout. Let us adjust things, because the idea is for you to move consistently and to learn how to move around things. Like if my shoulder's tweaked and I can't use it, I don't use it, I do something else. And that's okay. The workout of the day that's on the board is not some mythical, perfectly programmed thing that is meant to be held above all else. It's far more important that you start consistently training 3 to 4 to 5 times a week over the course of time. That's where the big blocks are going to be moved, right? And I think that I'm going to take a second, because this is going to be kind of a longer thing, because I want to define what fitness is in CrossFit. And some of you have heard this, but some of you maybe haven't heard me define it. And I thought I was going to work on the board a little bit, but apparently I'm just going to keep talking into the mic or into the camera rather. But if what we're after here is a general adaptation to fitness, we want to be really good. We want to be pretty darn good at everything that we can possibly do, right? And the idea is that nature favors generalists rather than specialists. You don't want to be really good at one thing, because everything else will suffer. So in that realm, or in that idea, CrossFit's definition of fitness is constantly varied. Nope, that's CrossFit's definition. Definition of fitness is increased work capacity across broad time and modal domains. And the staff members, and even in the journal, they just explain that simply by saying moving large loads, long distances very quickly. And when you think about that, you might think literally moving over space, right? Farmer carrying really fast. But it even means more specifically the difference between doing a bicep curl, which is a fairly limited range of motion, versus a clean and jerk, which is as much or as big as distance you can move a weight, right? Now in 2 movement patterns, a snatch would be moving that weight all in 1 movement pattern. And CrossFit's argument is the better you get at moving those things fastly and more heavy, the more fit you're going to be. And if we can look at the workouts that we do and look at the things that we judge from, and the idea that even, I'll use Kim's workout that she's coaching all day today, which involves wall balls, crawling, ring rows, and double unders, right? The workout is supposed to, it's 20 minutes long. It's a little grindy for that many movements in a row. What I need you to understand though is the goal of it all is to walk away from one or all 3 of these 3 of these movements and say, you know, or 4 of these movements, that I'm a little bit better at each of these, or at least one of these, because I came today, right? Yes, you should sweat and work really hard. Yes, there probably should be a moment where you're testing your gumption and you're feeling like you want to quit, but you keep moving. Intensity does create fitness. But if you finish these sets of wall balls and you haven't learned anything about squatting, and you haven't worked on hitting depth a little bit better every time, or you haven't thought about keeping your core tight, it's not going to create that neurological adaptation that teaches you how to squat better, right? There are plenty of places where you can show up, get a whole lot of sweating done, and if you eat perfectly, you'll probably lose weight, you'll probably start looking a little better, but you may not move better. And what makes us different, the reason I spend so much money on coaches, the reason I push so hard and spend so much time breaking down movement patterns for you, is when you finish here, I can't, if you become a brand new member and you signed up yesterday, and 3 months from now, your squat is not better, then I failed you. We failed you as a gym, right? And so even at our level, even as you get further and further and further into it, now I'm getting into my late 40s, I have to continue to chase and continue to try to improve my squat pattern, continue to try to make my back squat better, try to make my squat snatch better. We worked on it last week. It's not that you're ever going to make it to perfection, but it's in pursuit of excellence that a whole lot of really good things happen, right? I just want to encourage you guys to seek out that, to try to find things you're not good at and plug those holes. That's going to serve you well until you die, but also start thinking about maybe being a little selfish to yourself, that you come in and you see the workout and you know something's not going to do right. Drop your ego. Say, hey coach, you know, this is not working today. A lot of you are very good at it. A lot of you are terrible at it. A lot of you want to push through, or you simply don't show up because there's a movement that you cannot do. It's not, you are not taking away from class by asking the coach to modify something for you. That's what we do. That's why we charge more than Catalyst, right? That's the whole point of coaching you. Now, I'll get on my coaches too. It is our job to identify that as often as we can and make adjustments as much as possible. I'm constantly talking to them about that, but I want you guys to not be afraid. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask something. Yeah, that's the truth of it. I hope you guys have a good Wednesday. That was 8 minutes. I hope I didn't run too long.